Hello everyone, Ted Dill, Star Wars Nerd here. I hope you're doing well, and I want to thank you for joining me today as I go over a little bit of Star Wars news I got. Alright, this is on the Knights of the Old Republic video game remake that's supposedly in development. So if you look here, it says, of course, that a remake is a great idea. And this goes over a few different reasons why it's a good idea. And a lot of people haven't seen it in a long time. It was originally made for the PC and Xbox way back in the day, and it could stand a little upgrading, and it was a great storyline, and it was just such a good game that, yeah, it would be great today to put a modern spin on it. And it looks like they're going to, hopefully. The Aspyr software company is remaking Knights of the Old Republic, or at least that's the current rumor. And don't know if it's a remake or if maybe if it's a continuation. Maybe they're making Knights of the Old Republic 3. That'd be great. But more than likely, it's a re-imaging of, or a retelling of the Knights of the Old Republic 1 video game, which is fine and dandy as long as they do it good and don't tear it up too much. It would be great to see updated graphics and updated gameplay and make it more playable and not as choppy and with as many bugs as it had. Because that game did have a few bugs if you go back and play it. If you play the original game, it was very buggy. It was very buggy. So yeah, fans have been clamoring for a high-definition port of the original game for years now. And with rumors of Lucasfilm considering producing a film set centuries before the events of the prequel, a new version of Knights of the Old Republic is smart synergy for getting audiences interested in the franchise's ancient history while reminding players how well Star Wars shifted into the RPG format. Which it did, and it's a great game. If you ever get a chance, if you haven't played it before, go back and play Knights of the Old Republic 1, the first one. So that article just goes over and says, it's a great idea. And then you go here, and this article kind of puts a little bit of a damper on it because it says here, the remake is reportedly going to diminish a major element from the original, which is the gameplay. And if you've played the game, you know how kind of it's a back and forth, kind of turn-based, kind of not, but it's a little different in terms of how the action and combat plays out. And so, yeah, they might open it up and redo it like I heard, maybe like how Jedi Fallen Order is, which would be fine. Run around, fight people, and make it a little bit more, adventurous, exciting, more action adventure, and just remake the combat so it's not turn-based where you got to click your moves and then they do their moves and then you do your moves and then they do their moves. If they just make it all dynamic so you can go in there just guns a-blazing and blow away everybody, that'd be awesome too. And we've seen that. Look in MMORPGs, they have things like that. You're running around, you're killing people dynamically, you're not waiting your turn, and then you also have the quest givers that you go up to, other NPCs, and I think it would work well if they did it like that. And I would be excited to see something like that. Even though the little turn-based thing, it's kind of cool because with the turn-based, I'm just going to keep calling it turn-based, even though it's not exactly. But you can have a little bit more time to do your different special moves and things, do your different saber throws or force abilities or any kind of special combat tricks that each of the characters has. So that turn-based thing really gets you to where you can have a little bit more time and go through those things and make them work a little more effectively. Being in the heat of combat and trying to switch different things in and out, I don't know, it might not be as good, but I bet they could figure out a way to do it. There are many, many smart people working on this. I bet they could figure it out. So that's all really this article's worried about. And talking about, they're going to walking away from the real-time turn-based combat and doing something more along the lines of combat. Yeah. So it could be along the lines of, like I said, the Jedi Fallen Order game, which would be okay, I think. I'd like to see it. I'm all for it. I'm all for anything Star Wars doing something new. I think it'd be great. And then you got this article talks about, will the game give us the unseen ending from the other video game. Now what this article talks about is it's not exactly an unseen ending. I mean, the game ended. Revan was a hero. He was on. Let's see if I can find it in here. Yeah, the game's final scene is a celebration on Lehan, where Revan is awarded the Cross of Glory just as the credits roll. It basically plays like an homage to the iconic ending of New Hope. Galaxy is saved and the brave heroes are honored. Now that's the ending of the game. Now what they're talking about, what they would like to see, is what happened afterwards, which would be more like, I would think, either the beginning of another game or maybe a downloadable content or something that you could add on to it. But what happens after that is that Revan and Bastila, they get married and they return back to Coruscant and they start leading a life there. But then Revan starts having these dreams and visions of a empire that's still out there in the unknown regions, a Sith empire that's out there in the unknown regions, waiting and plotting and planning to come in and take over everything. So Revan and Malik, they decide to head out to the unknown regions and see what's going on and take care of the situation. And Revan goes off and he disappears and he's not seen again. And so I think that that's what they're talking about, Revan going off. So, but yeah, that would be a whole nother video game, I would think, to where you go in search of Revan. Kind of like, well, that's what Jedi or KOTOR 2 was. Stepping in the shoes of Jedi exile Mitra Surik, players learn through exposition that Revan traveled into the unknown regions and was never heard from again. In fact, part of the sequel's core mystery revolves around why Revan disappeared and later who the secret Sith are. So yeah, it would be kind of interesting to be Revan still after the end of the game and go off into the unknown regions and find the Sith Empire. That would be kind of cool. So that would be kind of cool. But like I say, that could either be downloadable content or a whole nother game in and of itself. I don't think it's not really a unseen ending. So yeah, there's that. And then the last thing I wanted to go over was this thing that's all this is rumor. All this is rumor and speculation anyway. But this one I think is even more rumor and speculation. Darth Revan rumored to appear in upcoming Disney Plus project. Now, while that would be awesome and cool, I just don't see it happen. I don't think they're going to do that right off the bat. They're just not going to go. I mean, they could, but I don't see it happening within the next 3 years or so. Too many things have already been planned and announced. I don't see them dipping back into that far of the past. But they could, because as this article goes over, if you read it, it talks about the Acolyte and how the Acolyte might have Revan as a hologram projection. Well, let's just go over it and see. Okay, so during the Holonet Marauder podcast, Corey Van Dyke of Kessel Run Transmissions reported that Darth Revan will be making an appearance in the Star Wars canon. If you're a fan of the Knights of the Old Republic, Darth Revan will be coming back in the canon very soon in something Disney Plus related. There's going to be a big push for Sith characters post-Mando. That's going to be Disney's big Disney Plus slate, starting with the Acolyte. Now, that would be really cool. Bring him into the Acolyte, and they could really test him out there, have him in either visions or show him as a hologram, and just kind of get that out there and see how the public reacts. And then in another couple of years, yeah, it will kind of tease his own series eventually, which would be awesome. I'd love to see a Darth Revan series, because there's just so much storyline behind him that's come up. And he's a very, very interesting character. Very interesting character. With KOTOR back on its way into canon, Revan's relevance to new Star Wars stories was a near certain thing. It's not surprising that the Acolyte will be used as a way to backdoor the villain into live action, the same as was done in Ahsoka Tano and The Mandalorian Season 2, as she was introduced and will soon star in her own series. Really need editors in this day and age still. Yeah, you can't just have spell correct work everything for you. Autocorrect. So anyway, that's what I was thinking on the Darth Revan and Knights of the Old Republic remake. I'm all for it. I think if they do it right, this has the ability to start them earning so much money from this game. And they could branch out and have an all new part of the franchise. They got the Old Republic part of the franchise they could dip into, and the Dawn of the Jedi, where the Jedi were first formed and learned about the Force, and how they first made their first lightsabers. That is an awesome story. If you ever get a chance, go check that out. I've done videos on the comics of that. So yeah, Dawn of the Jedi, go check that out. But anyway, I just wanted to go over a little bit of the Knights of the Old Republic news for today. Hopefully there will be more news coming soon, and we can keep up on it and keep up with all the new Lucasfilm game news. I'm excited about it. I love Star Wars games. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. So I hope you are too. So thanks again for joining me today. I am Ted, the Old Star Wars Nerd. Please leave a comment below. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Click that bell for notifications, all right? Thanks again for joining me, and until next time, take care.